Welcome back to 20 Clinical Pearls in 20 Days. Today we're on day 7 where I say stop giving detoxification supplements. And before you click off this video, I'm very pro detoxification via a number of other methods, so allow me to explain. Did you know, for example, that milk thistle might actually inhibit detoxification? Let's see how this works. Now, I realize this looks like Frankenstein, but imagine it's a cell with 2 tubes as ports of entry and exit. Here's how it works. A fat-soluble xenobiotic, environmental toxin, environmental pollutant, whatever you want to call it, goes into a cell via something called phase 0, biotransformation. Once inside the cell, then it goes through what's called phase 1 detoxification or biotransformation, where put simply, a hydroxyl radical is either added or exposed. There's a couple other things that can happen, but in general, it becomes more reactive now and water soluble. That's okay because still inside the cell, we have phase 2 detoxification, which is also known as conjugation reactions, and something is added to it like sulfur or glutathione, and it's still water soluble, but now it's not reactive. Then if we can get it out of the cell via phase 3, then it can be excreted in some kind of watery substance like urine, sweat, saliva, tears, or even a little bit in poo. Here's the deal. If anything inhibits any one of these 4 phases of biotransformation, I'm sorry, that's not a detoxification supplement. So here's what's happening today. Researchers in chemotherapy or cancer research are looking at ways of inhibiting detoxification so that the chemotherapeutic drug stays inside the cell longer. Guess what they're using for that? Things like milk thistle extracts, curcumin extracts, and green tea extracts in order to block phase 3. Here's one example of a rat study. They give a milk thistle extract to them as well as a drug. And as you can see here, the drug cleared out of the mice much faster than did when they took a higher dose of milk thistle extract, which, by the way, is on par with how much humans might take. This paper called it chemo-sensitizers, things that actually make cells more sensitive to chemotherapeutic agents by inhibiting detoxification in some way. And guess what some of the things they talked about were? Milk thistle, ginseng, a bunch of different flavonoids, green tea, curcumin, etc. Now, here's the deal. These herbs have historically been used to make and keep people healthy for a very long time. There's nothing inherently wrong with them. It's how we're using them. If we're standardizing them, isolating them, giving high doses to people, then perhaps they don't have the same mechanism that we thought we did. And just because detoxification happens in the liver and milk thistle is good for the liver doesn't mean that milk thistle is good for detoxification. In fact, there's some evidence that the opposite might be true. If you like this kind of information, there's a lot more of it. We got over 200 hours in our Advanced Mentorship program where we teach practitioners how to cut through the noise of the functional and nutritional medicine industry by showing you the truth about things. Head over to metabolicfitnesspro.com to learn more about it. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless.